Hey everybody, Houston and David Burton in the house. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Big news. First of all, we're gonna try the impossible here. Thursday, Thanksgiving night. Yes, Thanksgiving night. We're gonna try now. Of course, it's gonna be taped and uploaded later. Thanksgiving night, 9 o'clock, with David Burton, and somehow, some way, we're gonna pull that off.
Yes, sir.
So after you stuck your faces, you watched your football, you stuck your faces some more, and you putting up you got some cleaning up to do. And after you done all that, join us 9 o'clock Thanksgiving night. David Burton gonna be in the house. We're gonna get it popping. Also, it's a little show. It's awesome. I like it. Called The Chosen with Dallas Jenkins. They have a set here in Dallas, Texas. By the way, season 3 is available right now. Well, not now, but they're gonna put it in theaters. Season 3, episode 1 and 2, the life of Jesus Christ. But close to as close to accurate as they can. Unlike any Jesus, unlike any Jesus show you ever no, unlike any Jesus movie you've seen, this is a series about the life of Christ, and hopefully they trying their best. So, The Chosen in theaters tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Episode 1, episode 2, a little music video after that. It's pretty cool. All right, let's get into it. Dave, what's on your mind?
Well, before I start, I know this is not wrestling related, but gotta congratulate The Rock with all his success with Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Black Panther was highly successful last week.
Well, yes. You
and
seen it?
Of course, seen it, yes.
All right. Now,
I did see Black Panther, and Black Adam I haven't seen yet. And The Walking Dead is fixing to come to an end this weekend.
I'm going to say this one thing. If you've not seen Black Panther, you might want to fast forward. We're going to upload it. If you've not seen Black Panther, you fast forward. All right, here we go. Lord, the Queen died. Lord have mercy. The Queen died, David.
That bothered me.
Lord have mercy. And of course, I can't go into the further, and also the very end of Black Panther. By the way, if you've not seen Black Panther, fast forward. They might be setting up Black Panther 3. What if? Hear me out on this. Let's say when we left Black Panther, the cousin lives in the mountains. I can't pronounce his name. I'm trying to pronounce it. Starts with U. Mbaku.
Yeah.
Right, he lives in the mountains. He's challenging for the throne. Okay, fast forward. So Shuri on vacation. By the way, once again, if you've not seen it, fast forward. You've not seen Black Panther, you might want to ignore this part. Shuri on vacation in Haiti, and she's talking.
Black Panther will return.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. So here, seriously, Shuri's on vacation, talking to T'Challa's old girl. And hey, by the way, I got a son. You got a son? Yeah, I got a son. He push hush. He didn't want him connected to all this stuff. The Queen knew about her. Everybody else, the Queen knew about her, and that's why we call him the funeral. And what's your name? Well, my Haitian name is this and that, but my Wakanda name is T'Challa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Oh,
yeah, I wasn't surprised. Reading the comics, I already knew he had a son.
I'm not a comic guy. I'm more of a movie guy on the movie side. But I'm excited. A possibility of Black Panther 3.
Absolutely.
But question is, I'm gonna start with the. By the way, you need to go see it if you have not seen this. Question though, will he have to fight his auntie for the throne?
No. I know in the comics they share the Black Panther name, and they have their own separate suits.
Oh, gotcha. Because he is the crown prince, I'm just saying.
Yes, he is, and there's only one prince, and that's him.
Yeah. All right, so enough spoilers. Out the way, I apologize.
The series is coming.
Oh, yes.
You know, I never really cared for the women's War Games match. I never liked it. And I don't think I'm going to. Look, I'm all for equal opportunity, and I'm all for female rights in the workplace, especially in sports. But I know some people are not going to like this, and I know some people are going to agree with me, is that there are just some matches that women should not be involved in, and that's one of them.
Huh. Interesting.
I never liked the War Games match for women. Terrible. I think Triple H should get rid of the female War Games matches and just leave it to the men.
I think Hell in a Cell should be like it used to be the finale for all beef. You got beef with somebody, ended Hell in a Cell rather than a monthly pay-per-view.
Well, Triple H is getting rid of those extra pay-per-views. Yeah. You know, the rumor is that Money in the Bank. Well, I don't know what's going to happen with Money in the Bank. We've seen Austin Theory cash in on a mid-card championship, so I don't know what's going to happen with that.
I think it should go back to WrestleMania.
I think that shit's dead in the water now, to be honest. My personal opinion. But anyway, going back to War Games, we know that it's going to be Team Damage Control against Team Bianca Belair, and I wouldn't be surprised if Beth Phoenix is the fifth and final female on Team Belair, which would make sense. Let's not forget what Rhea Ripley did to Beth Phoenix. So it would make sense that she's a mystery woman, just saying.
Gave her a good chair, though, at Cardiff.
If it's not her, it has to be booking malpractice not to put her in the match.
Now, if you don't know, what happened was, it was Finn Balor and Edge in an I Quit match in Cardiff, Wales. And towards the end, it's like, look, say I quit, or I'm gonna give Beth a concerto. A concerto for all my new wrestler fans. A concerto. It hit on the chair. Another chair bashes your head in. Good chair though. There's two ways to do that, by the way. The old school way. Well, two guys have two chairs. Bam. The other way, put your head on the chair and smash your brains in with the chair. That's two ways to do concerto, by the way. So he said, "All right, screw it, I quit." And then Beth Phoenix Rhea Ripley did it anyway.
Yeah. Despite the fact that I said I quit, Rhea Ripley did it anyway. So we have two War Games matches, and of course we already know what the men's War Games match is going to be. The Bloodline against the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre. And it was supposed to be Kevin Owens, but since he's injured, Kevin Owens will no longer be participating in the match. So clearly, they're going to replace Kevin Owens with, I don't know who that fifth man's going to be now. So, you have the Bloodline, the Usos, Solo, Roman, and Sami Zayn against the Brawling Brutes. Drew McIntyre, which is already 4 guys, and it was supposed to be Kevin Owens to be number 5, but he got injured at a house show. So he's going to be out a couple of weeks, and he's going to miss Survivor Series. We talked about it before we taped. They already did the annual tribute to the troops. They might as well air it. It's already taped, ready to go. You might as well air it. Oh, they taped it after SmackDown last week.
Yeah, you might as well put it on the air as you already taped it.
I don't get it, though. I mean, last year they did do it, and they aired it, but as I said before, 2 years ago they did 2 years ago they did tribute to the troops after SmackDown ended, And, of course, they taped it, and it never aired on television.
Have we ever done a live tribute to the troops?
They didn't even put it on the network.
Yeah. Have you ever done a live tribute to the troops?
No, all of them was recorded.
Yeah.
Every single one. From the first one, from 2003 to now, they were all recorded.
Yeah.
And I gotta say this, because I know a lot of people have the misconception that Vince McMahon created everything in the WWE, which is not entirely
I know where you're getting with this. I know where you're going with this.
But, I mean, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
Because I've been asked this question. Was Tribute to the Troops a Vince McMahon creation? And the answer is no.
Right. Because John Bradshaw Layfield actually came up with it.
Yes, he did. It was JBL who created Tribute to the Troops. Much like Money in the Bank was created by Chris Jericho.
Who never won it, by the way.
He never won it, but it was still his creation.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
So we have 2 War Games matches. One Raw, one SmackDown. Of course, the Raw is women's. You have Team Damage Control. As I stated earlier, their entire team is complete. Damage Control and Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley and Team Bianca Belair with it'll be Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, and a mystery partner. In my personal opinion, I think it should be Beth Phoenix. If it's not, it's going to be booking that practice. I mean, she makes the most sense, to be honest. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with the whole Kevin Owens stuff. Of course, they're going to replace the same way they're doing the women's. Like, oh, it's going to be a mystery partner. I don't know if they're going to do it that way on SmackDown with the men's. Now that Kevin Owens is out of the match and he's no longer participating, for those who are just joining, the men's War Games match will be the SmackDown side. Of course, the female War Games will be Raw. But anyway, the men's War Games match is supposed to be the Bloodline against the Brawling Brutes. You know, Sheamus, Butch, and Rich Holland, along with Drew McIntyre. Kevin Owens originally scheduled to be in the match. He's out. He's injured. And I'm interested to see if they're going to do it the same way they're doing it with the Raw. So, the mystery partner. Which I hope they don't. I hope they go about it differently. Because it would be a little cheesy to go about it the same exact way. But the match on Survivor Series, we know that the championship is on the line. Shotzi will challenge the Shotzi who won a 6-pack challenge, no disqualification, to become #1 contender. So she will challenge for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Survivor Series. So we know Raw Women's title won't be on the line. So as of right now, I believe that's the only title that's on the line at Survivor Series. As of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Pretty much. Let me see. You got the World Champion. Of course, the Tag Champions are here in War Games. You have the Raw Women's Champion. And speaking of pay-per-views, I saw the NWA Hard Times pay-per-view. It wasn't a bad show, but, boy, Billy Corgan. For those who don't know, Billy Corgan is the lead singer of the rock band The Smashing Pumpkins. Bought the NWA in an attempt to revive it. He's done an amazing job with it, and it has an amazing following. But right now, they've been in the news a lot. With Nick Aldis and Mickie James leaving the NWA abruptly out of nowhere due to creative differences. And then them putting the NWA World Heavyweight Championship on Tyrus. Boy, Tyrus, who beat Trevor Murdoch and Matt Cardona in a triple threat match to win the title. Look, I get it. I know why a lot of people are not happy. Tyrus is slow. He doesn't move that well. And he kind of sucks in the ring. So, and to be honest, Tyrus is not a world heavyweight champion. He's not a world champion. And they put it on him. They could have had Murdoch keep the belt or put it on Cardona again, who pretty much reinvented himself since he's been in the NWA. But man, a lot of people are not happy at the fact that Tyrus is the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. So it's going to be interesting to see how his title reign's going to go. But, as I said before, despite that match, it wasn't a bad show. It was a good show, a decent show. But speaking of pay-per-views, we know this Saturday, there we go. Saturday, AEW's Full Gear. You know, I got an issue with their pay-per-views. They're too damn long. They're too damn long. You know, watching all their pay-per-views is like watching WrestleMania 35 from start to finish. To be honest. Their pay-per-views are way too long, and that needs to stop. That's a problem Tony Khan needs to fix, which is one of the issues that company has. Another thing that needs to be fixed is a lot of the guys need to stop doing the same move in every single match. Even though the move is being done by different people, that has to stop. And then Tony Khan, who does way too many tournaments, he books way too many tournaments. Like, this guy has booked 4 tournaments in the same calendar year. It's ridiculous. And the females need to be booked better. They need to be booked better. The female, and you know what? The only reason their female division has gotten better is because of all the ex-WWE talent that has came in the AEW that's made the female in-ring talent. Well, the matches have gotten a little better, not because they're there, but they're not given enough time to show their talent, so to speak. It's like old school WWE. The matches are short, and the stories don't really make sense, and they're not given enough time to really progress. There's a lot of things that company does wrong that needs to be fixed, and that's a problem. You know, AEW is hard to watch, and then a lot of the ex-WWE talent that they have, and I hate to say this, but it's the truth, it's like they're all watered-down versions of themselves. And I put it to the equivalent of Bret Hart in WCW. And this is nothing against Bret. Bret always performed to the best of his abilities. But if you ask any Bret Hart fan, they'll all tell you the same thing. When they rewatch Bret Hart's matches, no one rewatches his matches from WCW. So, all those guys reminds me of Bret Hart in WCW. For example, I'm a big Adam Cole fan. I am. I love Adam Cole. I'm an Adam Cole mark. But when I rewatch Adam Cole's matches, none of them are in AEW. And again, you can ask almost any other Adam Cole fan or any other wrestling fan, no one is rewatching his matches from AEW. Now, if they're going to rewatch his matches, they'll all be from WWE when he was on NXT, and vice versa. Same thing with Keith Lee. Same thing with Andrade. Same thing with Samoa Joe. Chris Jericho, you can actually rewatch some of his matches in AEW, especially the most recent ones he's had when he's been defending the ROH World title. Mm-hmm. Those matches against Claudio and Bryan Danielson and Bandito, those matches are very, very good. Those matches you can actually rewatch. Can you rewatch all of his AEW matches? No. But those Ring of Honor matches, yes, that he's had in AEW, those matches you can absolutely rewatch. But, yeah, they have a lot of... It's hard to watch. AEW is hard to watch. You gotta be a real AEW fanboy to watch that from start to finish. And I love wrestling, but their pay-per-views are too damn long. Too damn long. And I don't be wanting to sit through the whole damn thing. So, that issue is going to happen again. The 19th is Saturday, Full Gear. Of course, we all know the show is going to be headlined by Jon Moxley defending the AEW World Championship against MJF. Personally, I think it's going to be MJF's night. I don't see MJF losing. I think MJF is going to beat Moxley and become the new World Heavyweight Champion, which he should be World Heavyweight Champion. I think it's going to be his time. Another match I'm looking forward to on that card is the Fatal 4-Way for the ROH World Heavyweight Championship. It'll be Chris Jericho defending against Claudio, Bryan Danielson, and Sammy Guevara. So again, it's a Fatal 4-Way for the ROH World Heavyweight Championship. Mm-hmm. So I think out of all the matches, that world title match is the one I'm looking forward to the most. And of course, we know it was announced yesterday that the Elite is going to be returning to action, and they're going to challenge Death Triangle for the AEW Trios titles, their 6-man tag team titles. And that should be a good one. And Death Triangle, they're very good. And they complement each other well as a team. The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, they're just all over the place. All over the place. I think they have like almost 10 matches for Full Gear. And we all know Jeff Jarrett is going to team with Jay Lethal to take on Sting and Darby Allin. A lot of people don't really care much for that match. I don't blame them. I don't care much for it neither. It's like their feud never ends. WCW, TNA, and now in AEW. Now anyway, let me go down some of the cards for Full Gear. This Saturday night, Full Gear, and it's 11 matches.
Oh God.
11 matches. So you have the World Heavyweight Championship. It's going to be Jon Moxley defending against MJF. The Acclaim will defend against Swerve and Our Glory for the AEW 4 tag team titles. The interim AEW World Women's Championship, Toni Storm will face Jamie Hayter. That's another problem AEW has. They keep doing these interim title matches every time a champion gets injured. And then when they come back, they have an undisputed title match. And we're going to get that again when Thunder Rosa returns, because she's really the women's champion. But anyway, Toni Storm will face Jamie Hayter for the interim AEW Women's Championship. I mentioned this match earlier, fatal four-way for the ROH World title. Chris Jericho defends against Sammy Guevara, Bryan Danielson, and Claudio Castagnoli. Jade Gargill will defend the AEW TBS Women's Championship against Nyla Rose. And Nyla Rose, who's not the champion, even though she has it, she stole it from Jade Cargill. Anyway, Britt Baker will face, excuse me if I say this wrong, Saraya, formerly known as Paige, will be her first match back since she retired in late 2017. I mentioned this match as well. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal against Sting and Darby Allin. Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy in a cage match. Six-man trios AEW tag team titles, Death Triangle versus the Elite. Triple threat match for the AEW TNT Championship is going to be Wardlow defending against Powerhouse Hobbs and Samoa Joe. If Samoa Joe wins, he'll be walking out of Full Gear double champion because Samoa Joe is also the ROH World TV champion. And last but not least is Brian Cage versus Lance Archer or Ricky Starks in a eliminated tournament final match. And there's your 11 matches.
Yes, sir. Before we get further, we got to take a little business. Wrestling Trash brought to you by Back and Liberty More LLC. They put the day in delivery. You have a CDL license. You can drive trucks. Want more information? 888-712-2587 or 817-204-7259. We got backup.com. Now, if you can't afford pay-per-view, can't afford the Fight TV, whatever, the subscription, whatever it is, you can go to watchwrestling.ai or watchwrestling.ai, and there's another one. I've got that one.
Yeah. Wrestling Network.
Yeah.
That's the other site. So,
Yes, sir.
you don't want to pay $50 or $60? There's your option.
Speaking of saving money, man. Speaking of saving money, we're giving a hookup at WrestleTrash.com. Use the code Lucha Pride and all caps. You get $12 off. That's good until Thanksgiving at midnight. After that, we're shutting it down. You'll have to pay full price. I come up with another code. But until then, Lucha Pride at WrestlingTrash.com. Say $12.
Save yourself some money. And man, this Wrestle Kingdom, they're working on their Wrestle Kingdom card already. So we do know we're going to have a IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. As it stands, Jay White will defend against Kazuchika Okada should Jay White still be champion by then. The finals for the first ever IWGP Women's Championship is going to be, oh man, forgive me if I butcher this name, Maru Atwani is in the finals of the tournament, and she will face the winner of the other semifinal match. To be determined, Zack Sabre Jr. will face Rey Narita in tournament final match, the crowning first ever IWGP World Television Champion. Mm-hmm. So we got 3 matches already, 2 of them are tournament finals. So nice to see New Japan finally get a women's division. Finally. After 50 years, they finally got a women's division.
So let me get this straight. All this time, since day one, from day one to right now, they never had women.
Nope.
Wow.
They've had women wrestle, but they've never had a women's division.
Yes.
To the point where they had to make a title. Uh-huh. But they had women wrestle in the past. But in terms of them having a full-fledged female division with an actual women's title, it's never been done. And this company's been around for 50 years. And come next year, it'll be 51.
New Japan's the only company I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you what. They're the only company aside from NWA on the same level as experience with WWE.
Absolutely.
They've been around the same time. New Japan started in the 70s. WWE started in the 60s. And of course, NWA been around since 1903. But in NWA, New Japan, and of course, are the only two companies on the same level as experience wise now. Not production, but experience. With as far as experience go, with WWE.
Oh, I almost forgot. Can't forget All Japan as well.
Yeah.
The second major wrestling promotion in Japan. Like New Japan Pro Wrestling, All Japan was started by a Hall of Famer, the late great John Baba, WWE Hall of Famer, former wrestler. He started the company. I was a big guy back in his day. Huge guy. Tall guy. I think he was about, I forget how tall he was. Probably about 6'8" or 6'9"-ish. He was a very large man back in his day.
Wow.
And he's been NWA champion, I believe, 3 times. Or was it twice? It was one of them. Of course, he's wrestled in WWE for a cup of coffee back in the day, which is part of the reason why he's in the Hall of Fame, but of course the stuff he's done outside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the road is still reeling from, what's his guy's passing? Antonio Inoki, there we go. Of course, they're going to have a big tribute celebration to him during Wrestle Kingdom. This is nuts. This is, wow. The guy that started your company, the founder, passes away. That's like when the original McMahon passed. Now, we all know that WWE is a family-owned company. Of course, the company was started by Vince's grandfather. Not his dad, but his grandfather. So you got grandfather, the father, and now Stephanie. So that's 4 generations.
And by the way, nowadays, Nick Khan and Stephanie are co-CEOs. Nick runs the company. Stephanie runs the production.
Yep, co-CEOs. Of course, Stephanie, who, yes, she's co-CEO, but she's the chairman. She's the boss.
Yeah.
It's crazy, because I remember back when Shane was being groomed to take over the company. Boy, how things changed.
And by the way, you can invest in WWE on Cash App.
That is a fact.
I have
They are a publicly traded company, so that is possible to do.
Yes, sir. I did it back in 2020. I was so scared. I put in $1. It's going strong. Well, not going strong, but it's okay right now. I got like 0.001%. But if you have the balls, you got the stability or whatever you want to call it, you can go to Cash App.
I know someone who put in $5.
Yeah, that's my next step. I put in $1, but go to Cash App, go to Cash App, and type in at the home page. Let Fab walk you through it right here. I have it open in front of me. So you go to Cash App. You go to the home page of Cash App. It's gonna give me a minute here. Okay.
You gotta go into I think Bitcoin or something like that.
Yeah. No, actually, type in the search box right here. It's gonna say Discover. And you just type in people of business. Hang on a second. WWE, and then do it and invest from there.
Yeah, you can do that with any public traded company.
I'm sorry. That's the pay people back. My bad.
No, but you're right though. But you can do that with every other publicly funded company, like a Walmart or a Facebook or a McDonald's or a General Motors. Of course, WWE is the only wrestling company that's publicly funded. Everybody else is private.
Man, think about that. Think about that for a second. All these companies out here. You got Ring of Honor, you got TNA, Impact Wrestling, AEW, New Japan, all the Japanese wrestling promotions, all the British stuff, all of them. WWE is the only company that's on the stock market.
That's a fact, and they've been on the stock market for over 20 years. They went public in 1999, and it's 2022, so it's been over 20 years. Last year, they made the most money that they've ever made. Mm-hmm. Since becoming public in 99, they grossed $1 billion in revenue, which was the first for the company.
I think 2009 was my favorite year. I'm sorry. My bad. 2019, my bad. 2009 was okay. Somebody ain't happy in the background.
Yeah. Sorry about that, people.
I've been there, man. I feel you. You got check in around here. You got check in with the little homie.
Go into the next room real quick.
He might be small, but he running stuff around here. Yes, indeed.
Sorry about that. My sister has 2 dogs, so whenever somebody knocks at the door, they both start barking. So that's what that was, in case anybody's wondering.
Yeah, you got to check in around here.
Yeah, it's weird because they don't bark at all. And that's the only time they bark is when someone knocks at the door.
Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, oh yeah, I forgot. We have to clock out here. Before we do that, today or yesterday is when Rick Rude jumped ship. The first guy to jump ship. I mean that. That's what I mean. Like be on Raw and then later at night be on Nitro.
You were in the bathroom, I think.
Huh?
No, I was showing my sister something. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Like he was on Raw was taped that night, and then the next thing you know, he's on Nitro. Rick Rude.
Yeah, Nitro was live and Raw was recorded. Of course, Raw was recorded 6 days before that Nitro aired.
Yeah. And next thing you know, Rick Rude is on there on Raw, and then next thing you know, he's on Nitro. He was just insurance policy not too long ago.
Yeah, he was working on a handshake agreement, so he didn't have a contract with WWE, so he was paid by a per appearance deal. Mm-hmm. And not to mention, he also appeared on ECW television that weekend. So he appeared on 3 different shows for 3 different companies in the same week.
Wow.
2 of those companies were on the same night. Remember, Rick Rude was also on a per appearance deal for ECW too.
Make your money, man.
That weekend would actually be his final appearance on ECW television.
Yeah, make your money, Rick. Make your money. God bless you, bro.
Of course, Rick would go on to pass away 2 years after that, while he was on the verge of training an attempt to make a comeback. Of course, he had a heart attack and congestive heart failure, which is the reason why he passed while he was training for his attempted comeback.
That would have been amazing to see Rick Rude come back before that incident right there.
Yeah, he wasn't even that old. He was only 40 years old, if you can believe that. So it's not like he was in his 50s or 60s attempting to make, a comeback and have that one final match or that one final run. Mm-hmm. He's not trying to do a Sting or a Flair.
Oh, Lordy.
Well, I'm not even going to count Sting because Sting gets a pass. If you notice, every match he's in is a tag team match. Mm-hmm. So, which I was asked that question too, and the reason why is because the guy's limited for what he can do. So to protect his health and his limitations, that's why he's always put in the tag matches. Mm. And if you notice, when he is in the ring, he's not in the ring long. He does what he has to do, and he gets out, and Darby does pretty much 90% of the work.
Oh, yeah.
80% of the work.
Pro wrestling's a young man's game,
Yeah.
And I'm keep it like I'm gonna tell you like this: if you don't learn how to get out, your body will tell you. The body will let you know for you.
Yeah, that's what you don't want is your body to tell you before.
Your body and this business, yes sir. Your body and this business will let you know. So either get out while they're getting good, they will tell you when you're done. Mm-hmm. Just like in the boxing world, you don't want to end up talking like Mike Tyson. God bless you, Mike Tyson, but you don't want to end up talking like Mike Tyson. You might want to get out.
Yeah, that's what. Like Jesse got the hell out of there. Mm-hmm. It's like, listen, your lungs is not going to allow you to keep wrestling. Mm-hmm.
You can't wrestle, can't breathe. Sorry, can't breathe, can't wrestle.
No. Well, what happened with him is, of course, for those who don't know, he is a veteran, and he fought in, I forgot which war it was, but, with all that stuff in the air and, the dust and things like that, all of that got to his lungs and got him sick, mm-hmm. And what did he have? He had, what did he have? I'm trying to remember. It'll come to me later on. I can't remember what he had. But what he had is part of the reason that killed Rocky Johnson. Mm. He had pulmonary embolism in his lungs. And luckily for him, he got it taken care of. And they told him, as you stated before, wrestling's a young man's game. And, you're constantly moving, you're constantly running. So you got to breathe, and you're huffing and puffing, and everything is going up and down. Mm-hmm. For him, it's not good for his lungs, so he had to stop. If he would have kept wrestling, he probably wouldn't be here today. No, not probably. He wouldn't be here today. He would be dead. Mm.
Yes, you got to kill yourself, man. All these young wrestlers out here.
Let's not forget Triple H. Like, he had the same thing in his heart, and he was forced to have a pacemaker in his heart, and he's done.
Oh, yeah. And then all these young wrestlers, you definitely, you're going to need some life insurance, especially these young wrestlers.
And now with the bumps these young wrestlers are taking, I don't think they're going to have long careers. Mm. I don't think they're going to... for example, you look at a guy like Darby Allin and the bumps he takes in his matches, I don't see him having a 30, 40-year wrestling career. Not with the bumps he's taken. No, absolutely not. That's something Kevin Nash said not too long ago, and by all intents and purposes, he's right. When you're taking ridiculous bumps like that, you're not going to have a long career. Mm. You can't. Look at Mick Foley. His last match as an active full-time performer, his last match was in 2000, No Way Out 2000, that Hell in a Cell match against Triple H. And after that, he started wrestling part-time until he retired for good in 2012. Mm-hmm.
By the way, fun fact for you: when Mick Foley was in TNA wrestling, that's how we switched from Impact Wrestling to TNA. TNA for Impact.
Yeah, that was just around that period.
That's right. Mick Foley came in.
Another fun fact is that Mick Foley was actually one of the last couple of guys to wrestle Andre the Giant before he passed.
Oh, that's cool.
Lucky him.
Hey. Very few people that can say they wrestle Andre the Giant.
Oh yeah.
Very few. I know.
Andre was a legend, and he was a man among men. And it was back in that day. There weren't people his size. There weren't people like Andre the Giant.
Oh yeah.
You know, Andre was one of the most unique individuals in the world. So being around him was different.
Oh yeah.
Being around him was a privilege. Being in his presence was a privilege. Being in the ring with him was a privilege because he was no ordinary man.
Mm-hmm.
So to experience Andre the Giant is rare. Not everybody got to experience Andre. And I know there's a lot of guys in the business that wish they've met him or had a match with him or vice versa.
Oh yeah. There's a few people.
I remember, sorry to cut you off, I remember Stone Cold told a story about how he met Andre the Giant at a WCW show, which was actually Andre's last appearance in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Andre did that out of spite because he was mad at Vince. And not too many people know about this. Andre and the McMahon family were extremely, very, very, very close. And it's well documented Andre's issues with his health. And it was starting to show, and Vince was like, okay, look, I can't have you wrestle anymore. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
He pretty much forced Andre out of the ring, which Andre wasn't happy about, which led to them having a falling out, and Andre would end up leaving the WWE to continue to wrestle. No, Andre wanted to wrestle. He wanted to keep wrestling, despite the fact, despite everything his body was going through and the pain he was going through, he wanted to keep going. And he knew that if he wanted to keep going, he's going to have to leave for WWE. And eventually that's what he did. Of course, he would tour Japan and Mexico, and he would continue to wrestle up until he passed. I believe his last match was around 1991 at a WWE house show. He was originally scheduled to participate in the 1991 Royal Rumble. Of course, he was taken out of the match. Vince didn't want him wrestling. But despite not wrestling, Andre did continue to make appearances in WWE.
Yeah. Like I said, there's a few people that's still alive today that can say they wrestled Andre the Giant. Of course, one of them is Hulk Hogan.
Of course, and as I mentioned, Mick Foley.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's a couple of people that's alive. Flair and Lawler, Foley, and the Funks, Jerry Briscoe.
I went back in time, the time machine, and I watched Jerry Briscoe from 2000s. And let me tell you something, there's no greater ass kisser like Gerald Briscoe and the late great Pat Patterson.
Oh, Jerry Briscoe was a very, very, very good wrestler back in his day. I remember watching some of his earlier matches in the 70s and early 80s. Oh, those guys, him and his brother were very, very, very good. His brother, a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, they were multiple-time NWA Tag Team Champions. They were very good in the ring. Yeah. Sometimes boring, but very good.
Oh, wow.
Just calling it like I see it.
You gonna call the great Gerald Briscoe boring? I'm friends with him on Facebook, by the way. I'm just saying.
Now, if you watch his matches, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yes, but
Speaking, I almost forgot to mention the Von Erich movie that's being done. MJF being cast, and I don't know if it's going to be a major motion picture or a straight-to-DVD movie. I don't know. But they are doing a movie on the Von Erichs. Like MJF was cast in the movie, Zac Efron was cast in the movie. Wow, and I've seen some pictures of him shooting, and Zac Efron, he bulked up for this movie role. I was like, that dude is ripped to shreds. I mean, ripped to shreds for this role.
That's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get on out of here, but I want to thank y'all for joining us. By the way, we're going to try, like I said earlier, we're going to try to come at you.
We're going to try.
Oh, yeah, Thanksgiving night, 9 o'clock, after you stuck your faces watching footballs, and you stuck your faces some more, we're going to try to come back at you 9 o'clock Thanksgiving night, and so much more. Y'all can catch David Burton here on Wrestling Tracks Thursdays, unless he has something going on. Thursdays, and I'm going to try to get my brother Gray here on Fridays, and we'll have a good time in between. We're going to have a good time. See y'all later. Have a great night, everybody.
Take care, people.